You want to come on over, have a seat with your friends?
What is everybody doing here?
We've all just been talking, Tally, and what I'm hearing is a bunch of people here who just love the heck out of you. And they're going to say what they want to say, then you're going to say what you want to say, and we're done, okay?
Tally, over the past couple years, I have seen drug addiction affect you in the following ways.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Tally, you need to let him finish.
You're not the Tally you used to be. Whereas you used to be fluffy and absorbent, you now are crusty and unable to absorb the smallest amount of water. Will you get help today?
I don't get this.
All right, Eric, do you want to go next?
Kyle, I hate you so much. You are a liar and a swindler who would do anything for money. And
We're here for Tally, fat ass.
I'm supposed to be allowed to finish, right? Is that right? The Jews have been persecuted across the earth for good reason, Cal. You are a race of beady-eyed thieves who always want...
This is serious, you fucking asshole!
I'm being serious, Cal! Hello?
Kyle, we have to let people be allowed to finish during interventions.
But he's just using his time on television to rant
Kyle,
about...
please, it is not your turn.
You are a race of beady-eyed thieves, Cal, who throughout the millennia have squirmed and worked your way into the dark cubbyholes of society.
Ahoy, tent pirates, plant parents, conscious consumers, and the morbidly curious. Welcome to Cultivation Conversation, a podcast for growers by growers. Come chat with our hosts, Captain Autoflower, the Real Green Monster, and myself, Girl Go Grow. Grab a bouquet of your favorite flowers, apparatus of choice, and don't forget the fire while I tell you about the special companies that help keep this ship afloat. We are busy people, and we demand the best for our plants, so all three of us automate our grows with Autopots. Available in over 63 countries, gravity-powered Autopot systems rely on no pumps, no timers, and no power to operate. This plant-driven automated watering is so precise, it will reduce consumption of feed while increasing yield. An effective and efficient way to delegate a little responsibility. Let your plants feed themselves. Use code CC10 at autopot-usa.com. If quality is the name of your game, look no further than AC Infinity. AC Infinity's grow tents, lights, accessories, and ventilation systems offer reliability and affordability along with total environmental control. Use code Cultivation on acinfinity.com to save even more. Frass Valley produces the highest quality superworm frass. Naturally strengthen your plants and enhance their resistance to pests and disease. Use code CC10 at frassvalley.com. We are big fans of Mass Hydroponics. Whether you're a local in Massachusetts or accessing their full online catalog, they are your one-stop shop for all of your growing needs. Use code CC10 at mass-hydro.com.
What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land?
Hello, my darlings.
Happy Tuesday.
Where's our overlay cap?
There we go.
Thank you.
Hold on, patience.
I have none. You know that.
I only have so many fingers to click with, my darling.
That's not what I heard.
Oh, what's up, everyone? Everyone in the chat, howdy. How are you doing tonight?
Hiya.
Great, man.
Yeah. Let's get right into it. What are you smoking on? I heard a bong rip.
That was actually a dab.
Oh.
It was some kitchen sink rosin that I made.
Kitchen sink rosin. So that's just like a smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Everything, all your hash thrown together.
Yep. There's some pure Michigan there, some cherry smash, some lemon cava, some of the old favorites.
Nice.
Yeah. I keep a lot of fresh frozen trim around. And I I'll make a batch of bubble. Press it. It's not live, but it's as close as you can get without a freeze dryer.
Cool. Tasty. Sound good?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's definitely quite tasty. And but really, honestly, most of the day I've been puffing on this live resin cart that Tino sent me. This shit's fucking fire. It's sour D. The terps on it are amazing. It's I normally don't gravitate to carts much, but this shit is amazing.
Well, that's what's up. How you doing, Tino? Thanks for getting Monster super high for the show.
Yeah,
That's always appreciated. That's
not that it's
Be
needed.
in orbit, dude.
Your mic
Be a
is
space
a
cowboy.
little wonky sounding tonight. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. Sounds all right now.
All right.
We'll keep an ear on it. How about you, G3? What you got?
Take
Or
a
should I
wild
just
guess.
assume it's Mango Smile until otherwise notified? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. How much you got left? Like
Not
you
much.
gotta
Oh
be
my
burning through it.
gosh. Not much. I'm going to cry. No, she was really small because I stunted her horribly
Mm,
with that awful soil. So
awful
yeah,
soil.
not much. I do have a double smile coming, but she's just a baby. She's gonna take a while.
Yeah, at least another 3-4
Absence
months
makes the
to
heart grow fonder,
smoking
I
her.
suppose.
So what did the Mango Smile yield for you total? Considering it was stunted and all that, like would you
I
guess?
don't weigh it anymore or anything like that. So 2 mason jars, I guess.
Gotcha. I would guess like maybe 2 ounces then. Yeah.
Something like that. Like
Depends.
not a ton.
Some strains you can get 2 ounces in there. How's my mic sound now?
Better.
Better actually, yeah.
I was just too far away.
Oh,
Mic
okay.
was too far away.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, and you said you stunted her with soil, like bad
Yeah.
soil?
And I'm
What
not
do you mean?
even sure what exactly was wrong with the soil. They just didn't like it. They just didn't thrive in it. Monster thought it was too hot. I thought it was either missing nutrients or missing like some element, and it wouldn't tell me what it was. It was too much or
Gotcha.
too little, or I just couldn't figure it out. And I supplemented a lot of different nutrients to her, and they eventually yielded a lot, and they were lovely at the end. They just didn't get big. Because that's the thing with autoflowers. You've got a very short window to make it work. So
Well, yeah, you
fuck
have
up and
you have to get that
you get little
beginning right. Yeah,
plants.
you really have to get the beginning stages right. No, that's interesting, and we should come back to that. I have a little bit left. I found literally some remnants of Star Spangled Banner. This is it. This is the only jar that I have right now.
He's lying, you guys. He's lying.
Well, until I trim 2 plants, but like, you know, I mean, I get it. Like I have stuff, but it's not like ready. It's not ready to smoke yet. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's fully.
Do you hear yourself?
It's not fully dried and cured and trimmed. It's just not a finished product yet.
I understand that, but
And I don't know. I mean, I could grab a couple.
How many
buds out
how many
of the jar.
nugs in the how many nugs? Wow, I am fucking ripped. How many days into the dry are you?
I let's say I cut them down like a little more than 2 weeks ago. It was Sunday, maybe 16 days ago. And what I took them out of the dry tent early, a little too early. I knew I did. I just wanted to be like error on the side of taking them out too soon, as opposed to what I did last time with my Orlando's Magic, and I completely fucked it up. So I put them in the tubs, my tub method, and there they sit. They're in the tubs right now. I got the hygrometer in there, and it's like they're basically curing as we speak. It's just like
How long
I'm,
have they?
I'm
You said you
burping the
cut them.
tubs and stuff. Yeah.
You cut them down 2 weeks ago, and then
Yeah.
you stop. When did you pull them down from drying?
So I put them in the tub last Tuesday. It was right before the show we had with 2020.
You've got a week of cure on board.
Well, I only dried them, mind you, for 9 days. And they were 60-60 the whole time. Like it was spot on, right?
Okay, right. But it doesn't like stop drying immediately and then start curing. It's like a process where one bleeds into the other.
Exactly. But in order for that to really start to happen, right, you have to get that humidity in the tub down. Like it's the same process as burping a jar. Now I just have 2 giant plants there in a giant tub.
What was your humidity?
Well, it was spiking up to like 73, 74% after, 12 hours closed. So you have to burp the tubs. After a week of doing that, it's now down to like 62. So it's right on, it's right in that range where I'm going to trim them and jar them soon. It's just,
as soon as I saw that 73, I would have put them back up to dry.
I know. I probably should have. But
you would have saved yourself a couple of days.
I probably would have. You're right.
Lessons learned.
But guess what? I probably still wouldn't have trimmed them by now.
True story.
Just dreading, dread that process. Even though I got that trim bag and a couple fancy scissors and stuff, I just don't like doing it that much. But got to be done. So, cheers.
Trimming sucks.
What's left of my Star-Spangled Banner?
May she rest in peace.
Speaking of drying, this company, that's what if people are wondering why I'm on my phone, this company called We Dryer. Has anybody ever heard of them?
No.
Yeah. Well, they reached out to me and they want me to try their dry.
Oh.
I have to admit, I'm skeptical. Honestly.
Cut out a little bit. I'm sorry.
Wait.
They want you to try their dry what?
Their dryer. It's this weed dryer. Yeah.
How do you spell it? Like WEEDRYER?
So yeah, it's We Dryer, like WE Dryer XL.
Cap, can you pull that up, please? I'm not doing them on my time.
Let's pull it up. So I have to admit, they were like, yeah, I want you to try it. I'm like, listen, I don't typically like these type of products. If it doesn't work well at all, I am gonna rip the shit out of your company. And they still agreed to send it.
We Dryer.
Yeah, XL. It looks like one of those collapsible dry racks with a fan on it. That's all it looks like. So I haven't had a chance.
I don't want a fan on my drying weed.
Yeah, so
I'm dry. All right, I got it.
On the flower itself while it's drying.
I gotta be completely honest with you. That's all I know about it. It looks like a drying rack with a fan on it.
Get that brand off. Okay, there we go.
I recognize this product.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, it's essentially like a collapsible bag. It's like a self-contained little environment, little space there.
Right, and I think it's like mesh between the layers.
Now, what is in?
Is there any type of description there?
It says,
like, what makes it so fucking special other than every other drying rack?
Especially for $140.
Stop worrying about molds or being stressed about hitting that perfect moisturizing level. Weed Dryer knows how to maintain consistent, persistent, and constant airflow throughout the drying process, all alone. I mean, so it comes with a fan, a filter. All right. I mean, so what it gives you is like it's a small drying tent, basically. It doesn't give you the ability to like keep, your drying space at 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I never imagined it
Or
would.
60.
I just figured it was like one of those silly, like a newer like a different version of the Weeds Here Now dryer.
Oh, no. Yeah, this looks, I don't know, pretty cool actually.
Well, I will try it.
But you have to buck. I guess the thing is, you got to like kind of
you got
down the buds a lot before you put them in.
Yeah, which I don't like to do anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm already skeptical. But hey, we'll give it a shot, and then I'm gonna give it away because I'll never use it. So
there you go. Just toys for the audience.
They also have some hash bags that they agreed to send me. Some bubble hash bags. So those actually look good. They're all mesh, which I'm a big fan of. So we'll see how those are.
They got here single filter. So that's I guess like a HEPA filter type thing. So you're not getting like,
how much are those?
$21.
That's not bad.
$26.
You can usually get 2-pack on it. Those round ones right there, you can usually get 2 packs of those on Amazon, and they're actually on our website if you click the Amazon link on our products we use.
So, but 60 centimeters diameter. Now fucking metric system. I don't know what 60 centimeters looks like. I cannot visualize in my head how big that is. It's probably not that big, is it?
No, it's not.
It sounds like it is, but it's like these European measurements. They just want to sound way cooler than they actually are.
The size, I'm not really. Looks like they have 2 different sizes there, so I don't know which one they're going to send me. They have a regular and an XL. I don't know.
Yeah,
as you can tell, I'm not overly excited about it.
The thing about it, to me, it looks like. I mean, I'll be honest. Like this might fit one of my plants, 2. It might fit 2. But if I pull down a whole tent, this ain't gonna cut it. Especially, not the way I do it, where I like to hang dry the whole plant. You do have to break these down a little bit more before you put them in there. So I don't know. It could be cool.
Joint says he just got the XL.
All right. Well, have you dried with it yet? Or you have to give it a couple weeks? Just seems like
put about half pound in his.
If you can put attach, it comes with the filter, the fan. You just get your portable AC and cool that room down. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. I mean, it does say that you still need to be in like a cool, damp place. Like it's not going to make everything perfect, but yeah, I'd be interested to try. I mean, the same thing with the Herbs Here Now dryer. If you like throw that shit in the middle of the desert, it's still going to dry your weed like shit. So
especially with a fan on it and cut down into tiny nugs instead of a full plant.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that would fit. I guess if you grow a stunted autoflower, like let's be honest, like most people tend to end up doing, it'll be fine for you.
So I might be in that department with my with one of my autos, the Odin Sons. The Sacred Watch are killing it. Those are in cocoa like I normally grow. The Odin Sons, I planted 4 seeds. I already culled 2 of them because they were just weak. And there's 2 left. One of them is bigger than the other. I'm pretty sure the bigger of the 2 is male. It's generally speaking how it works. And they haven't started the flower yet. And they look healthy. So I'm going to continue until I see signs of flower. That's what will be my sign to cull and start over. Really, like that's what I'm looking for. If they start to flower and they're tiny, then I'm not going to bother with them. And I know I stunted them by giving them too much newts. Yeah, they got burned from the hot cocoa. Even that Costa, organic shit.
Hot cocoa is usually so calming and soothing. I love a nice hot cocoa.
What's funny is I thought this out too. I've been thinking this out for months on how I was going to do this when I did finally get this cocoa that I've been waiting for it feels like 6 months. I already knew how I was going to do it. I just didn't execute my plan well enough. I didn't put enough inert cocoa on the top to let it grow into.
All right. So this is interesting to me. I'm sorry. So you were working with your Coast of Maine Super Cocoa, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think you put too much of it towards the top of the soil and roots grew into it too quickly, right?
Yep, 100%.
That's probably a pretty typical way for people to burn an auto. I mean, started in too hot of a soil. I think you were right about, adding a little more of that neutral cocoa.
Well, it's funny. After it packed down, like after a few waterings from the top, I'm left with like an inch at least of pot left, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely, that tells me right off the bat I should have got more, inert cocoa on the top to let it grow into that hot shit as it got bigger. Because I have no doubt about it. Once it gets established, it starts flowering. I think it can handle that soil no problem.
Definitely.
So it just needs to grow into it. That's all.
I agree. I mean, I think I mentioned it on the last show with 2020. Perfect for me is half and half. Just depends on how big the pot is. Just, a couple inches of inert and then a couple inches of the hot stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't even close to that ratio. It was more like an 80-20 at best.
Yep. Well, there you go. That's why you fucked up your autoflower. Yeah, you stunted it.
I did. But the tried and true method with the cocoa, man, those fucking Sacred Watch are just taking off, man.
Nice.
I'm going to be putting them outside at the end of this week.
That's going to be fun to see.
Yep, going right outdoors.
So here's, I would love to talk outdoor growing. I mean, but maybe you could get into that some. But what I would love to know is how do you deal with the cocoa, like initially with an autoflower? Like are you watering with a nutrient mix from day one?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just a heavily diluted one, right?
I wouldn't even say heavily diluted. I mean, it depends on what you classify as heavily. I'll just take like my normal mix, really, and just what I do to make it easier for me to figure it out. Let's say I'm mixing up normally I'm mixing up 20 gallons of newts. I'll just weigh up my nutrients like I'm mixing up like maybe 15 or 12, just a little bit lighter. The only downside to that is usually you're going to have to add more pH down to get your pH right. And that'll usually, the EC will usually fall at like 1.2, 1.4. Ironically, you guys probably be, I don't check my EC much. I know it's going to be within range based on how many grams per gallon I'm weighing up. The pH I check like neurotically because that's way more important than your NDC. I see people all the time like, oh, I mixed it up and it was sitting at like 1.8 last time. I did the same thing and now it's at like 1.9. What did I do wrong? Nothing. It's called human error. Just relax. Send it. Your plants will be fine.
If the pH is good, usually it's
the pH you need to be more concerned with. Now, like, I guess every now and then it's probably a good idea to check to see if you're, getting what you're paying for with your newts. But I kind of already know what I'm getting, what I'm paying for. So I just, I send it. I do check the EC every now and then because the Apera has the all-in-one. It's easy to just flip through the modes and see where I'm at. But that's only if I see something wrong.
So, I mean, how long did it take you? I mean, how old are these autos that, I mean, you already know they're fucked.
Oh, the Odin Sons?
Yeah.
I'm like 80% sure they're fucked. I actually still have some hope for them because they look great and they haven't shown me sex yet. So, but honestly, I don't know how old they are. I'd have to go look at my calendar that I wrote down on.
So it's kind of like, it's the weird thing with autos too. Like you said, they look great. They're just tiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that
they look like 2-week-old plants, but I'm guessing they're closer to 3. If I had to guess, they're like definitely behind a week.
Are you seeing any like signs of over neutralization? Over what's the word I'm looking for? Fertilization. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not so much now because they're coming out of it, but at first, yeah, the leaves were just kind of like crinkly and weird looking growth.
Okay.
And they didn't seem to do much. So,
all right, because it is weird. Sometimes, like when I've stunted my autos, I tend to not see signs of over fertilization. Like they
Yeah.
look like totally healthy plants and they're the right color green. They're just not as big as they should be.
Mhm.
Yeah, myself as well.
So it's a very it's deceiving. You don't you
Just like, why are you small?
Yeah. You're like,
And they just
why
won't
are
tell you why.
unhappy?
Yeah.
Keep
I
it
mean,
a
that's why I like my cocoa with salts, because it's just predictable and I know what to do. You know what I mean? There's no variables there. I'm in control, not the soil or the cocoa in this case. So it just, like I said, I had a plan. I didn't execute my own plan well enough. And I'm gonna, if all right, if these start to flower, right, and they're tiny, I'm ripping them out. I'm going to throw some more cocoa on top and we're going to give it another go. So
there you go. Just pop another bean right in the same pot.
Mhm.
Because the hot stuff, they didn't even grow into that yet. I mean,
No.
hardly. Hardly.
No.
Well, that's, I mean, I would say when I see people grow tiny autos, not you, Monster, but like typically I usually associate that with like overwatering. I feel like that's much more of a culprit for people than over fertilization, but they are kind of hand in hand. I mean,
You want to know why they go hand in hand, especially if you're growing in soil. If you're overwatering, you're going to be releasing too much food.
That's you're absolutely right. Now Monster's talking about the act of, like, the water is the solvent that's taking the nutrients from the soil and then delivering them to the plant roots, and literally the water is carrying those nutrients from the soil all the way up through the plant. Pretty cool shit. But yeah, you have to water to release those nutrients. It's interesting too in soil sometimes, like if you miss a watering and you have, it does happen in cocoa too, but like if you miss a watering and you let your soil dry back too much, then you water, the next time you water, you will over fertilize on that next watering, right? Because you're like
Same shit with cocoa.
releasing too much.
If you dry back too much and you push them with your normal feeding, you'll burn them.
Mm-hmm.
The EC climbs in the root zone. You know, when it dries back, probably the same thing happens with peat.
Yeah,
just not to the same extent.
A little bit. Now, I don't always have runoff, Hank. I don't. I mean, that might be might be like a salts thing. I don't know. How do you feel about runoff, Monster G3?
I did it when I did salts. Not now.
Look,
though.
The whole runoff thing is something that actually held me away from using autopots in the first place. It was the belief that you needed runoff. But if you water from the top, I've done it. You can get away without having 15-20% runoff from cocoa. You just gotta know what you're doing. The thing is, though, you're better. I would never advise anybody to do that because it's harder to do. If I'm telling somebody to hand water cocoa, 100% water to runoff.
Water to runoff.
Yep, and
that way it's fully saturated, right?
Yep, it's fully. Not only that, but you're not going to be trapping any excess salts. You're flushing all the shit that the plant didn't eat from the day before. You're getting all the bad shit out. You know, you've got that thing at 100% saturation, and it's good. And I don't really have enough experience growing in soil to tell you whether or not you should. I can tell you that from the people that I know that do grow in soil, a lot of them do water to runoff, even in soil.
Are they using salt fertilizers or
no, even just with water? Just I'm not saying, I don't think to the extent of cocoa where I think like people say like 15% runoff, just enough so that like you see a little dribble coming out of the bottom.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's that makes sense.
I think water to saturation and water to runoff.
Yeah, field saturation
I guess
and runoff like are two different things.
They're slightly different.
They're right on the line of each other,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. When I hear water to runoff, I automatically think like 10%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or you're getting like at least a good flow coming out where you're going to want, you know,
Right.
like we're talking, I mean, a couple
You're-
drops, like at most. I mean, really, as a living soil grower, I don't want to see any runoff. Like,
No, because we want to keep all of our nutrients and microbes and everything in there. But
yeah,
when you're in with salts, you're looking for that mechanical action to take that excess toxic salt stuff out of there.
And I think
Away
if you're
from your
hand
plants.
watering or watering from the top, 100%, you know, I wouldn't advise against runoff. It's probably a good thing if you do it because you know. But
Mhm.
autopots have proven with bottom watering SIP system, you don't need runoff, not at all. No. But I could tell you this much, and this is why we got to get Manny back on the show, by the way. But if you remember the last time he was on, we had a little pushback, right, on the drybacks, right? And he's like, "Listen, we don't really advise to get people doing it, right?" And like, I'm going to tell you that I would probably tell you the same thing because I've done it and fucked things up, right? Like, I've dried back too much, pushed them a little too hard, and then I've had lockout where I've literally had to take the pots like out of their bases and water from the top and run off like a shitload to the point where because I have lockout in the root zone from too heavy of a dryback. So you have to be careful with drybacks. It's like drybacks are a tool, it's crop steering or whatever, but it is a tool to increase, terpenes and yield but you got to be careful with it. It's a very, very sharp tool. And if you're not careful, you'll do some damage. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't really think, like as a organic grower, I don't think there's any benefit to fucking around with drybacks. I really don't. You're going to keep your pots as close to fully saturated as you can. That's why auto pots work. I mean, the whole thing, like, roots need to be wet in order for them to grow into the space where the soil does. That was the problem I had with my autos recently, is the dry pockets in the soil. I don't know. There's so many ways you can stunt an autoflower, right?
yeah.
And everyone does it. It's not like
look, and you can stunt a regular photo with doing the same thing. The only difference is you have time to recover that thing before you flip it.
Yeah. So here's a good question. What does the dryback supposedly trigger the plant to do?
It's just a stress. Stresses are known to increase terpenes and, end harvest weight.
Or is it okay? Now, I thought like there has to be more to it than that. The way people preach drybacks and crop steering and all this stuff, like I assumed that there has to be some like formula that Athena, let's just say, like whichever nutrient company is promoting these types of practices with their nutrients, like I assume that they had calculated all this stuff into like, well, if you dry back 30% during week, 6 of flower, it's going to force this much more nutrient into the plant the next time you introduce water. And then it's all incorporated as part of the feeding plan. You know what I mean? It's all this
they do have a dryback chart, but it wouldn't really work for somebody doing autopots. Plus, if you truly want to master drybacks, you need some sort of soil moisture meter in your pots. Really, that's the only way to truly, really master that. Otherwise, you're just truly guessing by picking up the pots, feeling them. You know what I mean? And of course, when you leave it up to human error, like I did, you can fuck it up, and then you're individually picking up 12 fucking plants and flushing them out. Like 5 gallons of water each plant. So it's a lot of work. Yeah. So
yeah,
I that's why, like I would say, I would advise against it. I know Mac fucks around with drybacks a little bit. You're just going to be careful. I use the secondary res most of the times after the dryback. They'll get a lesser feed than they normally would, because I know that the EC in the root zone is already going to be higher than it typically is. So,
I just assume that, like, honestly, I assume that there was way more to it than just like, well, it's a stress. And I'm not saying like that's
Yeah,
what
I'm
they
sure if you
claim.
deep dive into it, there's definitely more science to it. I just don't get into all
Yeah, I
that.
thought it was just like all part of their incorporated like nutrient program. I mean, it's a weird thing. But again, I don't think like as a home grower, as a tent pirate, I just don't think that these types of practices are for us. I don't like crop steering. Um, they're for commercial cultivators who really do rely on, metrics and data and all this stuff. And like, I get why that's important. And if that's like appealing to you as a home grower, I'm not telling you not to get into it, but it's just like, it's not for us.
No, it's something that though I would encourage people to fuck around and find out, try a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Why not? Why not? Look around, find out, burn your autos.
Yep.
How's she gonna learn?
How else are you gonna learn? You got to burn them at some point.
Look, we learn way more from mistakes than we do success. I say it all the fucking time. It's easy to continue trotting on the path to success when everything's going smooth, but you have to reflect on when you do things wrong, right? So, like I fucked up my auto. I burnt it more than likely. So we'll see. It's Odin's Sons though. So from what I gather, it's a little bit of a little bit of a slow starter.
Yeah,
It's such a big
slow
pot.
starter
So
for sure.
we'll see. We'll give her some time until I start to see, flowers on her based on her
Yeah.
size. Then, I'm going to give her every fighting chance, before I make the snuff film.
Yeah, right.
Please don't. My heart cannot take it anymore.
Well, you got to be sure. I mean, I
I'm
was sure.
sorry.
I was sure.
That shit was gold. That I know it pained you, but like I must have
Nightmares.
rewatched that like 85 times, and
I didn't want to do it.
And now you started a
so-
trend. Now, whenever I kill a plant, there'll be a snuff film. And it'll be posted to Instagram.
This is not a good trend. What?
And then I'll tag you.
I do not want this. We need an adult. Oh
Oh,
my god.
it's too much, man.
I'm never logging into Instagram again.
But it's funny that we all ended up stunting autos recently, and like all in kind of different ways. And we're no like beginners here. Like we've grown a few autos before. It's just like
but something. I think that's part of the reason why autos still get a bad rap from in a lot of people's eyes is because they are so easy to stunt, and then they grow these puny fucking pathetic plants, and they're like, "See, told you." Like and I still get that upon my journeys. I talk to people. Literally just had this argument. I had to break out my phone today and show this dude pictures of autos. I'm like, no, dude, they're not small anymore. Like, look, what? Like, what are you gonna get? I was telling him about my sacred watches. Like, what are you gonna get off those? Like an ounce, maybe 2?
No way, man.
I'm like,
dude,
yeah,
mine was
all right,
like
son.
7. My sacred watch was 7 ounces. Good one. I bet you'll beat that easily in Cocoa. You should.
You should.
We'll see. It's an outdoor run, so anything's possible.
Well, yeah, dude, outdoors. I wish I could do that shit. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Gonna do the greenhouse with him?
Mm-hmm.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
And then for science, I am gonna throw one on my back porch. So stay tuned for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, I've always wanted to like just throw an auto like in a windowsill, see what happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not exactly like just throwing it on the porch. They have a head start in a tent with plenty of fucking light. So
True.
We'll see. But that's how you should be starting your plants, to put them outdoors. If you want the best chance of success, you got to hardy them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially right now, it's a little too cold. Like we have a frost warning tonight here in Massachusetts.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What spring? Disgusting. Yeah.
Hank still thinks autos are shit. Yep.
I mean,
every time I'm with him and I bring up autos, he's still fucking, but he doesn't know any better.
They can be finicky. Like you can fuck them up. Even people that claim to know what the hell they're doing growing them, like, can definitely fuck them up. Now, when I have had my most success with autos, okay, like, I've done almost like, I don't want to say like neurotic kind of preparation for the grow. You get all your ducks in a row. You know what I mean? Like, you prep your pots, you get that perfect, add a little extra perlite into your soil, get that layer perfect. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take that much effort, but you do want to at least think your grow through ahead of time. You can get that all set up, and then it's a trick of like properly moistening the soil after you fill the pot, and just the whole everything getting set up to like putting the seed in the pot, right? If you can get that part right, you're going to be fine. Like, I'm the laziest grower. I tell you guys this all the time, but like, I wish you could truly appreciate it. Like in real life, that might be why I grow a good autoflower, because I don't do anything. I just step back and watch them do their thing. And I don't water too much when they're young, and they're in that perfect, 4-inch layer of like neutral soil. Don't give them too much water. I don't give them too much love. I just step back and I just admire. Like, and that's when I've had my best grows. I don't like to bend them. I don't like to twist them. I just observe. And
Autos don't have time for your shit. They do not have the time. Leave them be.
I think we're speaking generally for beginners here. Like, everyone's got their way to grow. Great. If you're a pro grower, you like growing autos and you like training them, just keep doing your thing, guys. But like, if you want to start out growing autos, learn the basics and just step the hell away from them and let them grow, and you will be way better off typically. I mean, just get the basics right and nail the beginning. And that's how you grow a really good auto.
Amen. I think we can leave it on that one.
Right?
They are different than photos.
Yeah, I don't know though. I feel like I still need to like berate people a little bit.
Hammer them.
I need to drill this point home. Like, I mean, truly, it's like the less you do, the better the auto will be in most cases.
I'd say that's true with generally all, even photos, man. People tend to fucking helicopter parent, right? And add too many things of this or this, they just pay too much attention to them, and that's actually a bad thing. Sit back and let them grow, but especially the autos, because you have that countdown, like G3 said. That's it. Once that timer starts, you start at 100. Every fuck up you make, you're taking away a few points.
It's true. It's true. I think I've mentioned it before. If you think about an autoflower's days as years in a person's life, like, it equates to around the same like life expectancy. Okay, maybe even a little higher for the plant. Let's be real. Like, but if you live to 84 days, or 84 years, you probably consider yourself lucky, right? It's a good long life.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Right. But it's every day then of the plant's life is just 1 year in a human equivalent. So like, if you spend 1 day, bending, twisting branches, defoliating too much, and then they have to take 2 or 3 more days then recovering, that's been 4 days. Like, that's 4 years of your life that you've spent, like, I don't know what the equivalent would be, like chained up in a basement somewhere, like just bloody and
hung up on a meat hook.
Huh?
Wait a minute. Is this a
What
tour of your basement?
Did I say that out loud?
It's a virtual tour.
But you get what I mean. It's just like, you have to, think about it.
Yeah, it's like overwatering. Okay, so say you overwater once. All right, maybe you take a day away and they have to recover from that. And then if you just water normally, you're not going to stunt your plant terribly. But if you continually overwater every time you water, they have to recover from that. It takes days or years away
Years.
from them.
In a human life, it's truly years, right? I don't know. I think it is a lot of times it's over love. We want to
Oh,
love
of
the
course.
plants, you know. We
Everybody
want
wants
to.
the best for their babies.
But like a human parent, you know, to draw the analogy even further, it's like you're probably better off just giving the kid like a good, healthy environment to be raised in and like let him grow or her, you know, let them become the human that they're going to be. You can guide them and, you know, teach them stuff. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a parent, so don't take my advice on this. I'm a plant parent though.
The plant daddy.
Right. Got some big old girls too, man. You see these things and these not in the Magnum auto pots.
Yeah, how far along are those?
Oh man, we are 44 days into flower. I'm getting there, man. Getting towards that finish line. And I mean, I've noticed what I thought I would notice, which is that they stayed green a lot longer. They seem to be well fed just from the soil. I mean,
Makes sense. Bigger battery.
Right? I haven't added anything to the reservoir. No NPK. None. The only thing that's gone in is water and microbes.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So,
yeah, and they look great.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's. I'll have to post a couple pictures and really show them to you. But the 5x5 it's like wall to wall, dude. I mean, and honestly, I should have gotten a bigger light. They don't make lights that really fill out a 5x5 yet. I think I've seen like 2 that just hit the market that really are big enough for a 5x5. That's why I went with 3 fixtures before, because I got better spread.
Dude, I was just gonna say that's a scenario for 3 fixtures.
Yeah,
I'm always a component of that, believe it or not. To have 2 smaller fixtures as opposed to 1 bigger one, it's going to cost you a little bit more, and it's a little bit more complicated to set it up, obviously, but because you have to plug that other one in. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that because you're going to get a way better spread with multiple fixtures than you would with 1. Plus, inherently, they'll run a little bit cooler.
They tend to, and yeah, like Hank said, you get some cross lighting and that kind of effect. Now, what I've seen, recently, I mean, I guess there's a couple products that just hit the market that are like side lighting, right? You hang the bar, like 100-watt bar, like from your
AC Infinity's got them.
Yeah, is that what I've been seeing?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of different companies out there producing, but I know AC Infinity has them. It's something I've always thought of, man. Like, would this be beneficial or not? Is it worth it? They're not talking like big wattage, I think they're like 20-watt strips or whatever, and they're like
20 watts, really?
They're like 8-10 inches long, and you can like chain them up. So yeah, they seem pretty intriguing. I have to be honest with you.
I thought they were like 100 watts, and they were like a couple feet. Like
I
don't know.
Well, AC Infinities are like this.
Oh, really?
I was just looking for mine. I don't have them set up, but
you can get like a bunch of them and daisy chain them. I mean, I don't know.
I always figured so they have magnetic strips on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So ideally, I thought, oh, well, you just stick them onto your tent poles. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. That's what their line of thinking is. I just I'd like to try it someday, just not right now, and experiment. Maybe do a side by side. 1 room without, 1 room with, 1 without. It'd have to be a clone run, and conditions would have to be identical. So that's a pretty big controlled experiment, really, to see whether or not it's worth it, right? Is the juice worth the squeeze, right? the cost of the fixtures, the cost to run them.
Yeah, right.
The time
So
is
AC
set 'em
Infinity
up.
just dropped bar fixtures, and I think they have a couple of larger sizes. They may have a 5x5 size.
are they selling these things? I don't see them on the site. I would bring them up
They're
if I could.
so they are like the test. Like we just got them.
Oh, gotcha.
So they're being released, I guess, soon. There was like a data embargo. Couldn't talk about them until they announced it.
Oh, shit. I mean, side lighting's cool, but it's not like anything new. Let's be real. Like, I think you would definitely see a benefit to side lighting. Like, that's great. Adding more light to a tent is usually never a bad idea. There are some caveats to that, of course. I mean, let's say you've already like maxed out your PPFD, your DLI. Like let's say you're pushing your plants hard at like, I don't know, 1,300 PPFD at the canopy, and they're maxed out like DLI. Like, are you going to get any benefit from side lighting in that case? I mean, I don't know. I feel like you would have
The
to
lowers,
find like a ratio.
Your lowers that
Yeah.
wouldn't really necessarily get so much light would probably benefit. But like I said, I don't know. Is that extra lighting really going to give you that? At the end of the day, the only thing that would make it worthwhile is a yield increase, right?
I would think it would. You'd really you could keep more of your side branches and lowers and allow those to develop into like legitimate, decent buds instead of them just becoming popcorn or larf or whatever that you throw into edibles.
I get rid of a lot of that shit anyway, so that's why I'm a little skeptical of
Yeah, and I think we are making a lot of assumptions about like how like the efficacy of these bar lights stuck to the corner of a tent. Like, I have seen no tests thus far from Dr. Coco or from Shane at My Grow showing me like that these are effective. And
But what's the whole point for doing things like defoliation? Okay, one of the reasons for defoliation and one of the reasons for training your plants is to get light to your bud sites, right? So this is just getting light to bud sites that have a really hard time getting from.
But how much is the spread? Like, and if it's only affecting like a 4-inch segment of the plant, like that's an inch, a foot long in the corner of the tent, like then that's not a benefit to just have.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't place them like that. If I were going to use them, I would place them like horizontally, like along like a line of a tent, like the perimeter. If I was going to use something like that, I wouldn't place them like in like 4 corners.
You wouldn't put them like I'm thinking vertically.
No,
up and down on the tent.
No, I'd go horizontal with them.
I could see arguments for either.
Either way, either way, I don't know if it's like.
I mean, it makes sense in the corners, though, if you think about it, right? Corners are oftentimes dead zones as far as lighting goes. So
also depends on the height of your plants. If you got little
There's
plants, then you're going to want them horizontally.
Variables.
It could be it's a tool, right? In the toolbox, it could be a benefit. It could be it could derail you. I mean, if you're adding more light to your grow, you're going to have to add more everything else. It's like, you have to add more nutrients, more water. They're going to photosynthesize harder and heavier, and it's just going to be a faster race car. So
keep that cow nag on hand.
Yeah, for sure. And it's, is the juice worth the squeeze? I don't know. It's cool. It's definitely cool.
I'd like to see some side-by-side, some experiments, maybe some lab.
For sure. Now, one thing I've seen, I think it's Northern Scrogger guy, cool IG page, cool YouTube channel. And he has underlighting, right? Like a whole bar style LED fixture turned upside down. He has one above, of course, like a normal one. And then he has one turned upside down underneath.
I think it falls into the same category. It's just placement. Because people have been doing that it's the same thing. People have experimented with that for a while.
If you have lower lighting, do your lower branches turn towards those lights?
I would
I wonder.
I would think that it'd be more beneficial on the sides of the plant as opposed to the lowers. But then again, who the fuck am
I
I?
wonder. I think they have to be more affected by gravity than light. Like,
Well, I mean, if you bend a branch, right, and
Yeah.
and you bend it down, like it's gonna grow back up towards the light. So
Right.
I'm wondering,
or does it grow back up away from gravity?
yeah, mind
I don't
blown.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I mean, I just think the photosynthesis receptors, let's call them. That's probably a totally non-technical term. I think I just made that up, but you know what I mean, right? The cells that photosynthesize in the plant are found on the upper side of the leaves and like the most green part of them. Again, like I haven't seen any tests on underlighting, side lighting, anything like that from Dr. Bruce Bugsby or any kind of horticultural lighting expert that I trust. So I reserve judgment.
Right here.
I just, I think there's a reason that it's not more commonly used, and like the juice just might not be worth the squeeze, but we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, you'd have to do some side by sides, and I'm not sold on it myself. So that's why I haven't implemented it in any of my grows. But I want to see. There's got to be somebody out here listening that is going to do it. And
Yeah,
for
try
science,
it out. Let us know. Here, Dr. John Becker says, would underlighting limit stretch? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
Possibly. I don't have that kind of a coin to throw at my grow. Let's be honest. I don't have extra couple hundo to buy underlighting, not knowing if it's doing anything at all.
Exactly.
But I guess if you were given a freebie, try it out. Got a spare LED laying around? Try some side lighting. Shit, I might. I got a couple LEDs laying up in the closet now that I'm thinking about it.
See what happens. Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around, find out. No, we'll probably end up stunting more autos and having to make more snuff films. It's just tragic. But no, the autos I have right now, okay, Blue Zaroso and crinkled cookies from Night Owl, Alebrije, Blue Zaroso, and crinkled cookies from Night Owl.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking killer, man. I got them in the auto pots upstairs. I got them. They're probably like 55 days old. And holy shit, you should see this Blue Zaroso. It's like a stunner.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna fade dark. Like I think it's gonna look like the one Mac grew. I hope, because his was beautiful, but like maybe greener buds. I don't know. It's frosty as hell. Honestly, I'm like, Alebrije his shit is so good. I'm not like, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like everything I've grown from him is fucking killer. Right? It's just the two autos in a tent, Alebrije and Night Owl. Guess which one's bigger? Guess which one's frostier? Guess which one's just better smelling, prettier in general?
Well, we know where this is going. Alebrije.
Well, it is. I mean, truly. That's not to say that like the Night Owl isn't all of those things. Like, she is. She really is. She would be a standout in any other tent, but not next to this Blue Zaroso. I just go up there and I laugh to myself, just like, man, dude really is doing great work. So, and he's saving the Peros.
True. Good work.
We love you, Alabrije.
What are you drinking there? Is that blue liquid?
No, it's just the glass, man. It's that.
Okay.
Remember?
I thought you were drinking some sort of new fandangled.
A sarsaparilla.
Okay.
Is that from Big Lebowski? Cheers. No, it's an IPA.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Yeah, it pairs very nicely with Star Spangled Banner I have.
Nice.
But what are you saying? I need to organize a collab. What does that mean, Empire Kind? You mean like seed breeding collab or beer company collab? I don't know.
One can only assume seed
I'll just tell you this much. I'm not good at organizing anything. So just put that out there. But yeah, man. I'm in cruise control mode in my grow right now. I got very little. What do you guys have going on?
Why don't we start with G3? I was just gonna ask G3 what the hell you got going on?
So I have joints to Blueberry Girls, the Blueberry OJ and the Blueberry Limeade. They're in the 4x4 in autopots.
Mm-hmm.
I was gone for 4 days in the woods and they did brilliantly. Almost grew into the lights. So the Blueberry Limeade is officially taller than I am at this point. What is this? No.
Solo
I don't like
screen.
this.
Look at that.
Change this, please, immediately. I do not like this at all.
I didn't change it. Here, can we do this? Wait.
Thank you.
Wait, no. I don't even know how he did that. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop clicking buttons.
Sorry, G3.
We need to give you something to do when you're not talking.
Hold on, real quick. To answer my question, Empire
There
Kind
you
says
go.
seed project between Night Owl and Alabrije, which would be killer, right? I would love that. I don't have that kind of sway, man. I don't have that kind of power.
You never know till you ask.
Grow weed, like I think it would be, talk about like a perfect pairing, but leave that to those guys. That I stay out of the breeder friendships and the breeder drama. I find it's best just to stay in my lane.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't blame you. So carry on, G3, before we distracted you with your own beauty.
Give the guy a pop it or something to play with. So joints blueberries. The limeade's taller than me now. She's a beast. It's gonna be amazing.
Which one?
I have no idea how old they are. The blueberry limeade.
Nice.
And then there's blueberry OJ in there with her too. They're both very citrusy. The lime is very sour citrusy, and the OJ is distinctly orange. They don't have any of the blueberry yet. I think that'll come in later, but they've been fun. I like them. They love the autopots. They're not drinking a ton.
No.
Surprising.
No.
Yep. And then I've got the 3 grow along babies for Mephisto, Double Grape, Pinot Noir, and Double Smile.
Tell us more about this grow along with Pinto Noir.
It's Pinto Noir. So Girls on the Grow, which is the other podcast I'm involved in.
Tomorrow.
With Barely Growing and Mama Monica. Wednesday mornings, live on IG at 10 a.m. Yeah, so we're doing a grow along with Mephisto's Double Grape. This is our 3rd round. It's super fun. Our Discord's amazing. We have a great time. So it involves either double grape or any of the double grape crosses. I'm growing, like I said, 1 standard double grape and then 2 crosses, Pinot Noir and Double Smile. I'm really excited about that Double Smile.
Wait, that's double grape and mango smile? Huh?
Yes, sir.
I
mean, gosh, a match made in heaven, right?
Yeah.
It's an interesting combo.
Yeah, it is. It's an interesting combo.
It is.
Both very different.
Yeah. Very different plants. I loved Pinto Noir. That was one of my favorites. Truly, Added
And you guys will have to go back and listen to previous episodes to get that inside joke.
my wife called it she's a little dyslexic, right? And calls it Pinot Noir is the strain name. Pinto Noir. So it just added this level of cheminess to the grape terps and added bud density to the flower, which I thought was a little bit lacking from the double grape that I grew. Nothing like worth complaining about, but 7 out of 10, not a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't say no to those colors too, right? Like she's known for throwing crazy colors. So
oh yeah, anything the creme de la creme is gonna be colorful and
right.
Yeah, no, you're can't wait to see him.
So it's gonna be fun. And then I just got a package from Stan with the old school mango haze and Walter White BX1 testers in them. So those have to like get wet soon. And I have no idea where I'm going to put them. I have no room. But he was like, do you have room? And I was like, no. But yes, send them to me. I will find room.
No, but yes. So. Just grow stunted autoflowers. Purposely stunt them. Now that we know how to do it.
Yeah, Stan will love that.
We can recreate
he'd be thrilled. Mephisto would absolutely keep me on their tester list after that. I'm gonna purposely stunt my flowers.
Talking about like 9 out of 10 autoflowers are stunted. Are like literally everyone they give a tester to is gonna stunt them. I guarantee it.
Oh well, I mean, one of the reasons that Mephisto testers exist in the capacity that they exist is that it is our job to fuck up the plants first, to tell everybody else how not to fuck up the plants.
Okay, gotcha.
Mephisto's wedding is a perfect example of this. Like the testers got it. We all get about the length of the time of a half to a full grow cycle before they're releasing those seeds to the public. So as we like slam our plants with nitrogen and they freak out at us, we send up the alarms like no nitrogen, no nitrogen, no nitrogen. And then people don't screw up their plants.
Gotcha.
So we're a cautionary tale.
So you're more of like crash test dummies.
Exactly. It's our job to like fuck up our plants so other people don't, or if we don't fuck up our plants, to take gorgeous pictures of them so other people want to grow them.
So don't bite my head off on this question, you organic guys out there. Does Build the Soil just have like a bloom mix, like a bloom amendment mix?
Yeah, Build a Bloom.
Okay. I'd like to see somebody fuck around with just that from the beginning on an auto. I bet you could do pretty well.
I would absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
I have that.
Especially these like super nitrogen sensitive babies from.
You think it's just nitrogen that they're sensitive to?
No, but I think that's a big one.
That's the biggest one, especially. It's so easy to overdo it with nitrogen, because it's usually the highest value of like whatever the fuck it's. Plus, I mean, look, there's so many different there's easy ways to do it, even when you're growing organically or synthetically. It doesn't matter. You can overdo the nitrogen so easily, and the plant doesn't need as much as people think.
Well, it's interesting. Say that much. We'll see what I'll bet you that old school haze is probably going to be pretty.
Can't wait.
It'll be killer, but that sounds like one that's going to be pretty nitrogen sensitive.
I mean, right? It might be. The cool thing with these new ones that they're releasing is that they're F5s.
A word?
Interesting.
So, they've been working those for like years behind the scenes. That's the thing with Mephisto. They always have shit cooking.
This old school haze that they're mixing with the Mango Smile, and then they're coming out with old school blues, which is it crossed with livers. They've had this cut since 2018.
No shit.
And they've been working with it since then. They got it from like
they love that livers, dude. I want them on our show so bad. I saw they went on to High on Homegrown. Shout out to those guys.
They did their first one ever. Congrats to them.
I posted up in the comments that they should come on, and they liked it. Mitch liked the post.
Well,
So
I'd love to talk to him about livers, man, because that was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
yeah, that shit was good. Sour livers was great, man. The original
And
sour
now I
livers.
see they think it's one they want to keep working with and breeding with and crossing
I
things
mean,
too.
yeah, they
So,
consider it like their version of skunk, you know?
yeah,
So
true. It was stinky.
You won't hear any complaints from this guy.
yeah.
He
good
likes a
stuff coming out
skunky
from
one.
them. And there's rumors of something like a total of 15 plus new strains coming out this year from Mephisto.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
my
I
wallet's not
wonder.
gonna be
Yeah, I mean,
happy.
I'll have to say, I wonder how many are new artisanals or just crosses of existing autos and that kind of thing. But
I guess we'll see. I mean, these ones they've announced so far are pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited.
yeah, they're always doing cool shit. And I did hear I posted one after our last conversation. I did a few throwback posts, and it's come to their attention.
And you were reposted a few times, sir.
So like they liked my man bear alien pig, which is great to me. Like, and they left a comment that said that's probably going to be coming out later in the year and cross to a few more things too. So
I've said it before. That was my favorite meth plant.
it's one of the cooler looking and like stronger strains that I've grown. It was a potent one.
I did have one pheno I didn't particularly care for, but it was still like knock you on your ass weed.
Yeah. Good shit, man. Good shit. But I am I'm so excited for these 2020s to be ready to smoke, jarred, trimmed, sort of cured, ready to smoke. I'm just as excited for all of my photo periods, all of joint stuff to kind of like come to its grand finale here in the next couple weeks. I mean, it's getting really colorful, really, really pretty. And my God, it's super terpy. The kinds of terps you can only get from a tent full of photo periods. I hate to say it. Those types of old school blueberry terps that I was fully expecting from the Violet Beauregard coming through, combined with like the plant structure, the girth of Supreme Leader. It's just,
you said girth.
It's everything you want, man. I mean, I'm telling you, I might have to do a re-veg. Awesome. It's fading to like a lime green and purple. Very cool.
Wow. I mean, I got to be honest with you. To when you say I might need a re-veg, that's like, that tells me you must really, really like this plant, because I know you don't like fucking around with any of that shit.
No, I don't, man. But like, she's throwing down. That's the thing. Is like, you should like, I will do a close up of this plant that I'm talking about, and like the spears on each branch are at least a foot long. You know what I mean? Like, and fat buds.
Do you have any lowers
spiraling.
that you want to cut off?
I should have lollipopped more than I did. That's the thing. You always,
well, if you have
I
any,
spent like 3 hours doing it, but I should have done more.
If you have any that you want to cut off, try cloning them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Even
Just, yeah, I made a post about it the other day. You can clone and flower, 100%.
How would you do that? Like, I mean,
so I would look for the lowest branch really that I could that's viable enough to clone, and I would take my cubes and I would soak them in some sort of like microbes and some bloom newts. If you got to use your build a bloom or whatever the fuck that is, get some phosphorus and potassium into those cubes.
Okay.
And then I would take my cutting, dip it in some sort of rooting hormone, whatever you got. They're all the fucking same. Aloe, if you want to use aloe, that's fine. Aloe is great, but if you just do the research, there's really not enough IBA in aloe. Concentrated aloe would work much better.
Gotcha.
And then put it in the cube and then throw it in a sandwich bag. I was talking about it the other day. And then throw it in the corner of your veg tent, where it's not going to get too much light. and keep the top of the bag open and let it do its thing. If you do it
Stand
right,
it up?
and what's that? Yeah, just
Stand it up. Yeah.
Yep, and just let it do its thing. Just make sure it's not getting a whole lot of light, and it'll root for you.
So don't put it in the corner that you've installed that new AC Infinity light fixture in.
Correct.
Nope.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And
Just-
take it
just
and
to-
do like 6 or 7 of them. I guarantee you'll get at least one of them to root. Don't all have them in the same bag, obviously. Have a couple of different ones. Keep the top of the bag open, where the plant not like a little bit, like an inch or so.
Can breathe a little.
Yeah,
like, or is the objective to seal the bag and keep the humidity? Like,
no,
super
even with the
high?
bag like 80-90% sealed, you're still getting enough of a humid environment in there.
Word.
Yeah, and then I open up each bag once a day and close it again and leave it just a crack open.
Cool.
That's how I've done it.
All right, dude. I'll try it out. I mean, what do I got to lose? I have the auto.
It'll save you
veg
some
tent,
time
right?
as opposed to the re-veg too. And re-veges aren't always as successful as people think they are. They're a little bit harder to pull off because it's so easy to overwater them or over fertigate them. They're way more sensitive than a clone. So
all right, I'm gonna try it. I might take a few. Now, you said cubes. Is there a way to do this? Sans cubes.
Besides cubes?
Besides anything but.
Do you have any like small cups, maybe even like plastic shot glasses you could put some cocoa in?
Yeah.
Or some inner.
You just fill one with I think I do have cocoa. All right, how about like those? They're root riots or
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
The ones with like the fabric around.
Oh, Jiffy pellets. Those will work. Yeah,
work.
Just soak those first. They're a little bit acidic. Soak them in something like a good nutrient solution. Get them nice and wet.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
all right.
Those will work.
You said phosphorus and potassium in the nutrients.
Way more important than nitrogen.
Yeah.
For rooting.
And a little, like 45-degree snip, little rooting solution or aloe. Boom, right into that. All right, Jiffy pellet. All right.
Yeah, give it a go.
Sandwich bag. Cool. I might take like four of them, see what happens.
Yeah.
Just to get at least one.
And if you do it right, and the cube is, so you're going to have that cube soaked in water. Just take it out of the whatever it's in and just give it a good shake. It's still wet, but it's not like soaked. When you put it into that bag, you shouldn't ever have to water it until you take it out and plant it. It should maintain enough moisture to the point where it's good. At least that's the way I've done it. Seems to work pretty good for me. And shout out to Muggs AZ, one of our Patreon supporters. He was struggling with cloning. I told him to give it a shot, and I just posted about it. 8 days, he got roots.
The sandwich bag method?
Yep.
Nice. Now, what about from flower? That's going to take a few more days.
100% is going to take longer.
Okay.
Yep. 100% is going to take longer.
I'll expect it. Just be patient. Shit, man, I got nothing going on in the corner of my auto tent. I might as well.
No.
Might as well.
I know you got one of the corners occupied, with your pimp pan. But at least,
when the meat hooks fill up, I gotta put them somewhere. But no, it'll be interesting, man. But I love this one so much that like I want to somehow. I'd love to get Joint a cut of it. It's like this should be the representative strain of.
Yeah, if you get one to root, man, I'm sure he would love that. And dude, I'd even fuck with it. Send me a cut. I'd grow it too.
The beauty. It's like, dude, it's blueberry, but it's on steroids. That's really what I'm getting from her. It's like the same terps that I remember. It's taken me back to 2001, 2002, just those good old days.
Now, what's the lineage on the Violet Beauregard?
Blueberry crossed with the Supreme Leader, and the Supreme Leader was Triangle Kush crossed with man, now I'm drawing a blank. But it was like some kind of
Alien or something.
Alien OG
Yeah.
and Kush.
There you go.
Triangle Kush. I know my mind's fizzling out at this point in the night, guys.
Well, it is getting pretty
much
right around that time to wrap it up.
No, I'm just, super excited for what I got going on. Actually, I'm going to try to do a show from up there. You think that would work? Like,
What's that?
If I brought my phone up and just did like a remote broadcast from the attic.
Yeah,
could try.
As long as you have a good enough signal, do a speed test before you get there, and I'm sure you'd be good.
A little testing. All right. Well, do we have any new Patreons we want to thank?
We do, and we actually have more than what this thing is showing. It kind of sucks. But shout out to Master Yoda. I'm not sure if we gave him a shout out. Shout out to Derp Terps
Master
Farm.
Yoda, Derp Terps.
Yay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
It's terrible how bad the Patreon app is.
I think I might be able to bring it up.
And Swood or S Wood Duff 81. Shout out. He actually goes by a different name on IG. He reached out to me, asked me for the Patreon link. I sent it to him and he signed up. That was awesome. So shout out. Thank you. Appreciate it.
We got a Toxic Toothpick stepping up, adding a little bit more into the pot. That shit's appreciated too. And man, we got
all the Patreon supporters. If you haven't got an email, check your spam. I did just double check because a few of you said that you didn't get emails, and then we've confirmed that you did get them. They were in spam. So check your emails. You all should have gotten emails with your beans going out.
Nice. Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to pop some of them Outcasts. So thank you to Outcast.
Thank you, Outcast.
And thanks, Monster, for taking care of mailing them beans. And thank you to all the people that support the show. And thanks to the people who listen to the show.
Absolutely. Thank you to all.
To you guys, too. G3 and
Thanks to you.
Oh, shucks. I love doing it, I have too much fun hanging out with all you guys on a Tuesday. It just wouldn't be the same anymore, I just wouldn't feel right. So till next week. Keep
in touch with yourself.
Post some good pics and don't get caught.
You caught.
Peace.